All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where I am most definitely going to hit you with a big old pile of I told you so. Because Steven Espinoza of Showtime spoke out and provided additional insight into the rematch of Errol, Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. And the rematch clause was not what people have been saying that it is. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to once again address a topic because I did a video about this after Terence Crawford made a statement regarding the Errol Spence Jr. rematch and what the contract stated and where the fight needed to be. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a gigantic difference to the channel. But let's get into this because, hey man, I love this conversation. I did a video not too long ago where I gave my impressions of something Terence Crawford said. And now I'm going to give you my impression on what Steven Espinoza has said and let you know that what Steven Espinoza has said further supported my notion or my impression of the meaning of what Terence Crawford had said about this rematch and what weight class the rematch between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford has to be. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a big difference to the channel. So let me give you this short and skinny. Terence Crawford does not have exclusively, according to Steven Espinoza and according to Terence Crawford, he does not have the sole right to decide what weight class that fight is going to be. And he is limited in his ability to turn down a fight at 154 pounds. And that is something that I got from Terence Crawford himself. And now from Steven Espinoza, who most definitely has a copy of the contract. So let's talk about first what Terence Crawford said. Terence Crawford said that Errol Spence had not notified him in writing that he could not make 147 pounds. Consequently, since he didn't notify him in writing and Terence Crawford didn't notify him in writing, that the fight therefore had to be at 147 pounds. That's what Terence Crawford said. Steven Espinoza was asked about the weight class and what weight class the fight needs to take place at. And is it Terence Crawford's ability to dictate what it's going to be? And Steven Espinoza says something that was very interesting. He says it's not that simple. He says that neither fighter can just say that when one fighter notifies them that they want the fight at 154, the other fighter cannot just say, no, I don't want to fight you at 154 pounds. I want to fight, but I just don't want to fight you at 154 pounds. But the next fight after that, I am willing to fight and I can fight other people at 154 pounds. I only want to fight you at 147. So what he's saying is Terence Crawford does not have the ability, according to however that contract is written, with however it's worded, to tell Errol Spence, no, I will not fight you at 154, but then in the future, go on ahead and fight other people at 154 in your very next fight. So that eliminates this concept that Terence Crawford gets to pick the weight class in and of himself. Like, I either want to fight at 147, I want to fight at 154. That, according to Steven Espinoza, is not given to him in that contract. So what could that possibly mean? It could mean that there has to be a negotiation or a conversation between the two of them about what weight class that fight is going to be at. And if one guy says, I cannot make that weight, I cannot make 147, then the other person has to justify not giving him the fight at 154 pounds. And that could be either Errol Spence Jr. or Terence Crawford. Now, the reason why I say this is important is because these are conversations that are going to probably take place between the lawyers and also the management of the two fighters. Also, there's somebody else that is party to the agreement called Showtime Sports, and Showtime, who I'm sure has the rights to that particular fight, could also have say so on what fight that weight class takes place in. And in order to justify that fight not taking place at all, they may have to explain to Showtime why, no, I'm sorry, I want to walk away from this fight because Errol wants it at 154 and I want it at 147. And then there could be some enforcement from Showtime over the fight saying, no, hold on, man. I'm a party to this agreement as well, and you can't just turn down the fight, especially if you think that you're going to move up to 154 in your same fight, which is what Terence Crawford has already said that he wants to do. Terence Crawford is on record saying he wants to go up to 168 and is willing to fight is willing to fight Canelo Alvarez or Jermell Charlo at 168, or that he's willing to move up and fight for undisputed at 154 pounds against Jermell Charlo or whoever else is there. He also said that he's not willing to fight any of the contenders at 147. So there has to be some ambiguity in that language that would allow Steven Espinoza to say, man, I'm sorry, it ain't that simple. You can't just say, well, no, I don't want to. You can't just use that, even though you know full well that you're willing to fight other people at 154, and then say that you're just not willing to fight him at 154 because either I want more money for it or I just want out of the fight altogether because it's a waste of time. It seems as if the PBC and Showtime had that contract tightened up a little bit more securely than what people would say. Now, let me tell you what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that I know exactly what that contract says. I don't. All I'm telling you is that I know what both parties said. First, Terence Crawford alluded to the fact that it was up to that both parties had a say so over what weight class that fight was going to be in. Both. So, because he said it's going to be, I have to notify him or he has to notify me. One or the other parties have to notify that other that they can no longer make that weight. So if, say, for example, Errol Spence Jr. had beaten Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford had the rematch clause and Terence Crawford executes the rematch clause, Terence Crawford could very well still have had say so in whether or not the fight had to be at 147 or not. Because that is directed at both. Terence Crawford didn't say the winner gets to decide it. And now you have Steven Espinoza saying it's not so simple as this guy has the right to decide that. And this guy doesn't have a choice in it. I have a suspicion that if Errol Spence says, I cannot make 147 pounds, then unless Terence Crawford is not going to fight at 154 for the foreseeable future, that Terence Crawford may not have a choice. And it could be in relation to the terms of the agreement as they affect Errol, or the terms of the agreement as they affect Showtime. So, hey, man, I'm pretty much going to think this fight is going to take place at 154 pounds, regardless of what Terence Crawford wants to do. And it also follows suit with what's fair, because why would Terence try to say, well, I'm going to get out of this. I'm either going to get more money out of this guy's pocket, or I'm going to get out of the fight altogether by just refusing to fight him at 147. But yet I'm willing to fight somebody else there. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.